Senate presidency. I ran against Tinubu Shetima, APC governors, not Akpabio. A former Zamfara governor, Abdulaziz Yari, said he was defeated by a gang up of some officials when he contested for the position of the Senate president against Godswill Akpabio on Tuesday. Mr. Yari, who represents Zamfara West Senatorial District, said this in an interview with BBC Hausa Service on Friday. In the election for the Senate president held during the inauguration of the 10th Senate, Mr. Akpabio defeated Mr. Yari by 63 to 46 votes. The Senate is made up of 109 senators. Mr. Akpabio, the former governor of Akpabio'S state, was the anointed candidate of the APC and President Bola Tinubu. Mr. Yari said he could not have won the contest if there was no gang up against him led by Mr. Tinubu. He said if he had known he would not win, he would not have contested the election, but insisted he would have won if not for the gang up against him. I mean, this just sounds like excuses. Excuses, firstly, if it was an all-right competition where it was sincere and, honest, and he lost. You lost, first of all. Secondly, you are in the Nigerian government and you are not strategic enough to understand how the game works. It's very crazy because what this also shows is that some individuals, and I think that's the thing as Nigerians, we really zone in and we don't look at the bigger picture of what a person represents. Because I know that Akpabio, for a time, even being governor, was very liked and very respected for the things he did in Akwa Ibom, which is not a bad thing. But as I said, even during the elections, when you are looking at a candidate, you don't just look at them as who are they. No, they are more than just a House of Representative candidate, a presidential candidate, vice presidential candidate, senatorial candidate. They are more than just a candidate, but they are also the party that they represent. Automatically, you can like this person, but because of the affiliation with, a bigger body or a representative or a person, that in itself should be able to taint or at least make you logical and realistic about the support you're giving to somebody. That makes sense. And that's why I just think that it's not surprising for this Mr. Yari to feel like it's a gang up. I mean, the whole election, you could say, was a gang up as well. The people who want the power and are able to do what they want will do what they want regardless. And those who are the sycophants who are very weak and have no backbone and who would basically jump and hop from political party to the other depending on what the regime and depending who the winner is, it doesn't show anything. So it's like the people who have the power would also gain and collect support of those who are willing to suck up, who are willing to lose integrity just to be aligned with the power. So a gang up in the Nigerian government, oh wow. Because he genuinely thought he would have won. And maybe he thought he would have won and things looked like he would have won. I mean, you can say the same thing in a bigger scale, the presidential election. So again, how people get to their positions is not just by merit or because they're deserving or even by at least just pure fact of voting. You don't just get to that position. It just doesn't happen. But again, we will see. What can you even say? That is the thing. What can you even say? It's like, my condolences. I don't know what to say to this man. But, it is what it is. So he literally said everyone was involved. The president was involved, vice president, secretary of government of the federation, governors all against me alone, and those that supported me. He then says, I hope in his second tenure. Where? Second tenure, how? You call this a gang up, but you are now hoping that he will lead for another 4 years, 8 years. Are you serious? The president should allow a democratic process. Oh my God. Please, please, please. I do you know what? Do you know what is funny? I think we actively choose to just look away from the truth and choose delusion over logic, over everything. You know what? Maybe as a people, we are very, very delusional. Maybe we should consider that. We are actually so delusional. And maybe we have just lost touch with how... But I mean, given how, when the average Nigerian may not be as exposed to understand how the world is and how, people are actually living at least better lives than where you are. But we are actually so delusional. Democratic process, what I believe is that Nigeria should be scrapped. The constitution, scrapped. In fact, the whole system, scrapped. If there needs to be a revamp, you know how you want to, when you spring clean a house, you don't just sweep the floors, clean tables. No, you bring out the couch, you bring out the tables. You know where your chair is under. You bring everything out. Even your wardrobe, you bring your clothes out, right? Your store in your house, all the old pots, you bring it out. When you really want to clean something and clean from the beginning, you start again. And that's what I think Nigeria needs. It's like there's no point cleaning your environment and then in the corners dirt is building up. When you vacuum, you don't just vacuum the corners, where the corners are, where sand would build up, you have to clean those areas too, or else it will just build up and everything looks clean. But is it really clean? It's not. So that's why, in my personal opinion, all this, it just doesn't make sense. So second tenure, my reaction to when Mr. Yari talked about hoping that in Tinubu's second tenure, I'm like, who are you all deceiving? It's all a game for these people, honestly. And it's like when you see finish, it's like this is see finish disrespect times 10 to Nigerians, because they literally do what they want in front of us and really don't care because they know we can't do anything about it, really. Of course, it is very sad. But again, I was about to talk about the tenures. Yes, it was very surprising. Was it surprising? I think Nigerians just allowed Buhari to be president in 2019. We didn't even try. And I guess that's why it was a lot of motivation to at least be involved in the 2023 elections. But for Buhari winning again in 2019, if not for anything, at least for the fact that the government was so shambolic. I mean, now you have the pound to naira and you're reaching 900 and almost 1,000. And at that time, what was it? 200, 300 naira to a pound or even $1. So it's like things go so bad. And that's why I say the psychology of everything. When Nigerians will get so beaten, we just look at, let's just survive. But you surviving, yes, in the short term, it works for you. But in the long term, you're literally accepting a government that will never, ever take responsibility for you. Put what you think in the comment section below and don't forget to like and subscribe.